Hi folks, just doing a few more things to set up. We'll start soon. Alrighty, let's get started. Yay! Boredom busters. Okay, happy Saturday, everyone. Good morning. Hi, I am Miss Emily. I'm the Youth Outreach Librarian at the Arlington Heights Memorial Library. Today, I have a few fun activities for us to try together that I'm calling Boredom Busters. I wanted to do these programs because I'm a big sucker for a craft that results in something that you can keep playing with. So that's kind of what I was thinking when I chose these activities here today. So I tried to pick activities that required supplies that you probably already have in your home, or that you could substitute with something else pretty easily or go get pretty easily. I'm going to try to get through all three of these activities in an hour. The reason I'm doing it on Facebook Live is so that it's going to be recorded, and also you can pause at any time. So if you're feeling particularly inspired by one of these crafts, I'm only going to make one color of face paint. So if you want to keep going and just keep painting your face, or you can come back and do the marble mazes later, that type of thing. You can go at your own pace since I chose to do it on YouTube Live. And then also this will be saved and you can access it through the Wakelet that I believe is linked in the video description. It's definitely on Arlington Heights Memorial Library's program page. We made a page called Wakelet where I've put the supplies, the instructions, and a few extra links to explore more on the topic. So since we're making kinetic sand, which I realize is not going to be real sand, I put a bunch of links about sand and sandstorms and the beach. For face paint, I gave you some face paint ideas, some of the history of face paint, and then for the marble mazes, I did a bit of history on mazes, and you can see the world's biggest maze and the top 15 weirdest mazes. So those are all on the Wakelet. Lots of fun links that you guys can keep exploring and talking about these crafts and doing more things with them over the weekend. So I hope that you think that this is fun and you enjoy it. So I'm going to, let's see, what time is it? Yeah, I'm going to take just 2 more minutes to plug a reading program real quick and see if anyone else is going to sign on or not. But I wanted to tell you guys about a new reading program that we're doing. It's a year-round reading program. It's called Read 500, and it's for kindergartners through 3rd graders, which is why I wanted to tell you, because hopefully we have some kindergartners through 3rd graders joining us today. So Read 500 is basically our library is challenging you to read 500 minutes a month, which may sound like a lot, but it really breaks down to only 20 minutes a day for 25 days of the month. So you can definitely do it. Every time you complete the 500-minute badge, it counts as a raffle towards a grand prize that will be pulled once a year, at the start of the school year. And then for every 6 badges you earn, you're going to get a free book to keep and take home forever. So I think it's going to be fun. It's just a way to promote sustained reading. I know that a lot of your schools encourage you to read 20 minutes a day anyway, so feel free to double count that. It's great. Yeah, I think that's it. There will hopefully be a video about Read 500 soon, and it is pretty much up live and ready to go. Oh, it's on Beanstack. So if you did our summer reading program or winter reading program, the ahml.beanstack.org is the same website that you'd go to for that. Okay, so let's see. I hope you've gathered your supplies. If not, I hope you were doing that while I was on my soapbox. If not, you can pause the video and go ahead and go get your supplies. We're going to get started, I think. So the first craft I'm gonna, well, I keep like, I don't know what to call them, if they're crafts or activities, but I think activity is better. The first activity I'm going to do is kinetic sand. I am missing the beach. I wish I was at the beach, which I'm sure a lot of people do. And so this is just sort of a sort of sand substitute. So, okay, I have baking soda. We're going to use baking soda and baking powder and dish soap, which I just left over because I was doing a few dishes before this. So, and dish soap, but I've already poured it out into here. So I've pre-measured all of my stuff. You're going to want to use 2 parts baking soda, 1 part baking powder, and 1 part of the dish soap. So I only did like a 1/4 cup because I'm not making that much. But if you wanted to make like a big batch, you could do like 2 cups baking soda, 1 cup baking powder, 1 cup dish soap. It's up to you. That's why I used the parts because I'm going to make a little less than you might want to make. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's see here. I'm going to try. Oops. Okay. I'm going to try to angle you down so you can see my cool PB&J socks. And I've got a big bowl here with my smiley face spoon, and I'm going to start adding my ingredients. So, like, I love this because it's just adding all of these ingredients together. So we're going to take our 2 parts baking soda. So again, for me, that's about a 1/2 cup, but it could be more for you. So 2 parts baking soda in the bowl. Nice. And then we got 1 part baking powder. So that is a 1/4 cup for me. 1 cup of baking powder in there, nice and dusty. And then we are going to add the 1 part soap. It's gonna like sort of slide off of it at first. I'm gonna sort of put this down, try to scrape as much of the soap into the bowl as I can, and then I will show you the mix-in. Okay. So we got all our stuff in here now. Nice, looking good. And now we're just gonna mix and mix. Just keep going. It'll sort of look chunky at first. Just keep going. We're gonna go mix, 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 mix. Get a better handle on that. Okay. Mix, 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 mix. All right. So you're gonna keep stirring. So mine's looking pretty good. If I was to touch this right now, it would probably feel a little wet, and that's because like it hasn't absorbed all of the, what's it called? The baking powder? Yeah. So you're going to want to just sort of mix a little more. And then now you're at a point probably to sort of get it off your spoon. You're at the point where you can probably use your hands to mix, because then you're going to have to, the next parts you're going to have to like see if it's too wet or not. So I'm going to take my rings off. And I'm going to use my hands. Yeah, I think this might be a little too wet, but I don't know yet. I'm going to keep mixing it up a little. It's a little wet, so I'm going to go and grab my baking powder real quick so you can add a little more baking powder. Where can you see it? Nope, not if I don't show you the label, the baking powder. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little more baking powder over this because I think my mixture is a little too wet. Like it still feels a little soapy. And you can see it's kind of sticking to my fingers here. But if we mix in the baking powder, a little more baking powder, hopefully. Yeah, that's starting to feel a lot more sand-like to me. So it's fun. I like this stuff a lot. You could definitely, like, it's nice because it, like, packs up all nice. And then I still have, like, a little bit of the stickier part on my hand. So, but we'll just mix it up a little bit. Great. Looking good. And yeah, so now I've got, like, a big snowball. I like it because my dish soap was blue, and so it's got this like nice blue tint to it. But you could make a whole bunch of it, and you could play with it, like using normal sand toys, make some sand castles. It's nice because it packs up real well, but then once you sort of fluff it again, it's nice and sandy again. So yeah, that is kinetic sand. Lots of fun. And like I said, you can make a way bigger batch than this. Fill up the whole bowl and make some sand castles. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So that's my kinetic sand. Let's see, I'm just gonna sort of get this off my hands a little bit. Yeah, so that was the kinetic sand. Oh boy. Oh no, we're doing great on time. Super great on time. I was thinking it would be fun. You could add some food coloring to that and make some different colored sands. That would be a good idea. I just sort of, with all of these crafts, I'm just going to sort of be doing like the most basic version of it. And then the idea is hopefully that if you're inspired, you'll want to like go farther with it. You can do something bigger. Oh, I remembered something I was supposed to mention at the beginning of the video. If you make any of these things with me today, please take a photo and share it with us on our social media on either our Facebook page, or you can like post it on Instagram and tag our Instagram page. We're on Twitter too. We're on all of the social medias. So I would love to see what you guys created. When I was deciding what system to do it on, I kind of wanted to do it on Zoom so I could see everyone, but then I couldn't have recorded it. You couldn't have paused it. So yeah, I'm bummed that I don't get to see you guys doing these projects too. So if you could take pictures to share with us, that would make me really happy. Okay, so just sort of dust my hands off. They still have, how about we're going to take a second to go wash our hands. Okay, we're going to go wash our hands because for the next project, we might be touching our face a little bit. So this is actually a really good idea. Let's go wash our hands. So I'll be right back. Okay, much better. All right. Hi again. Okay, so who's ready for face paint? This is going to be the fun one. I mean, I love the kinetic sand too, but this face paint stuff is just so fun. So to make the face paint, you need lotion. And obviously, I think that like face lotion would be the best to use, especially if you have sensitive skin. You should really only use face lotion if you're going to be doing this. But I'm usually okay. I tested it out with just some normal hand lotion, and it was okay on me, but you do what's best for you. Okay, so we're going to be using 2 parts lotion and then 1 part cornstarch, and then just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of food coloring. Okay, so I have already, all right, let's angle you down again. Okay, so I've already measured out my 2 parts lotion. It came out to be about 1 tablespoon. That was like all of the lotion I had left. But that's okay because like I said, I'm just making 1 color right now. So like if you were going to make more colors, you would be doing this in batches. So that's why I said you might want multiple bowls. So if you're making multiple colors, you're going to be doing this like multiple times. So this is just for 1 color. So I've got about 1 tablespoon of lotion already in here. It's white, so you can't quite see. And then I'm going to take my 1 part cornstarch, which for me ended up being half a tablespoon. 1 tablespoon, half a tablespoon. 2 part, 1 part, yay. And then I'm just going to mix the cornstarch into the bowl. 1 second. Okay, got to get all the cornstarch out. And now we'll mix. Again, it'll sort of seem chunky at first. I keep getting some on my floor. I'm glad I didn't vacuum before this, because I will definitely need to vacuum after, but that's okay. So, should be starting to get a little paste-like again. I believe the science of this is that the cornstarch is thickening up the lotion, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a scientist. And seems pretty good now. So I'm just sort of scraping it all to the edge to make sure I got all of that cornstarch. Say that's looking real good. Cool. So now we've got the base. Oops, I just realized I had a little more cornstarch on my spoon, so I'm gonna mix that in there real quick. Okay, great. Looking good, looking good. Okay, cool. So we've got our pasty, lotiony paint stuff. Just sort of scraping it off the spoon with my finger right now, because I'm going to just, oops, use the same spoon here. I'm just going to dip my spoon in my food coloring, because I accidentally did not buy liquid food coloring. I accidentally bought icing food coloring. So I think that that will still work just as well. It's fine. So we've got our food coloring here. I'm doing green because green is my favorite color. And so I'm just gonna dip the slightest little tip in here. So I've got like really just like a tiny, tiny bit of green food coloring on there, but I bet that that's gonna be more than enough, because one drop does a lot. So you can see, yes, I was right. It is definitely turning green. It's turning a little more pastel than I thought it would. But like you saw, I only had the tiny little bit of, oh, and it's because there's still some food coloring in the spoon. So let's get that off. And I actually like that. That's a nice, pretty pastel green. Maybe I'll throw just a tiny bit more food coloring in. We'll go like this. Sorry, just throwing a little more food coloring in. I know you can't see because I can't quite angle it down there, but I promise. Look, got a little more food coloring. Yay. And ooh, that's nice. It went from like pastel spring green to sort of a like dragon monster green. I love it. Yes. This is what I wanted. Perfect. So now we've got our green, and I already made some blue here. I made this about 2 weeks ago now, so I stored it in a plastic bag, and some of it dried up. I wish I had been able to find one of my tiny little I have little Tupperwares, but I could not find any. So I put it in a plastic bag. Some of it dried up, but obviously like quite a bit survived for like 2 weeks. So I do think that this would last well in an airtight container. So I've got my blue here, and I'm gonna, real quick, I'm gonna take a big old dollop of green too and put it on my plate. Yeah, so you can feel free at this time to, if you want to, pause my video and go make more colors. That's totally great, because yeah, like I said, I've got my 2 colors, and I thought it would be fun. We'll see how this goes. Let's check the time before I just say that we're going to do this. We're going to do this because I have more than enough time. It's going to be great. So I thought it would be fun because, you know, the face paint stuff is suggested for like, you know, it'd be fun if you did it around a holiday to decorate your face for a holiday. And I was like, well, Easter just passed, so could do a bunny. There's a link to how to do a simple bunny in the Wakelet, how to do a simple bunny mask. But I thought it's Earth Day next week. So I think it's on Wednesday. So I'm going to try to paint an earth on my cheek. We'll see how this goes. So I've got a little mirror here, a little hand mirror. And I have downloaded a cartoon of the earth. And I have reversed it because I realized I'm going to be doing it backwards. So we're going to see how this goes. Full disclosure, I've never done it yet. I've painted with the blue on my cheeks before, but I have not attempted an earth. So it'll be fun for everyone, right? To see what Miss Emily can do. By the way, I have like very, very little artistic talent. So let's see. We'll see how this goes. All right, pretty good circle. So I'm starting with a blue circle since our earth is mostly water. And oh, I'm using a paintbrush. I just had a few little paintbrushes. I do think that you'd be able to use your fingers if you don't have paintbrushes at home. Might be a little difficult. I'd say maybe a Q-tip could work too. That'd be fun. Okay. All right, so we've got my big blue circle. Not really a perfect circle, but that's okay. We can pretend. Okay, so my big blue circle, fun. All right, now the hard part. Let's see. I've got a smaller brush, little detail brush. Let's see how it goes. Okay. So I think I would do Africa over here. Oh, that's okay. I also don't know if this is gonna like blend the colors together too bad. We're winging it. It's fun. Okay. So we got Africa and Europe, sort of. It's going to be an abstract earth, that's for sure. We'll have to use our imagination, but okay. An Africa and Europe up here. Okay, cool. All right, now we'll try South America. This one will be hard, I think. Oh, that's a lot of paint, but that's okay. I know Earth Day is a real holiday, but I personally have been loving right now celebrating ridiculous fake holidays. Okay, now I'm starting on North America. Like a few weeks ago, it was Unicorn Day. That was a lot of fun. I tried to make unicorn dip. It turned out pretty bad. Well, it was tasty, but it looked bad. That's okay. All right, now we're just gonna do a little Antarctica. I don't know. So if you saw me on the street with this, would you guess that is the Earth? Maybe. Trying to like flatten down some Europe does not have that many mountains, so can't have Europe be that. All right. It's abstract, right? Not bad. Okay, so now I'm going to do the rest of the program with an earth on my face. I knew that was the cost of trying this, but it turned out pretty okay. Nice. And we're doing fantastic on time. Okay, so have fun. Do whatever you want with your face paint. I'm going to share real quick, if it would load, a little bit of the brief history of face painting, just because I think it's super cool. Like, I don't know. I just think that like there's such a long history. Like it starts way, 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 like long time ago with Native Americans and other spiritual purposes. For even before that, like people used to face paint for camouflage for survival. So that's amazing. And then now I just think it's funny because now like people go and paint their whole face for sports. Like it's just it's a fun way to like express yourself and yeah, I don't know, it's a good time. So yeah, there's a link with all of that history in there. It's a lot of in the Wakelet. It's a lot of fun. Okay, let's start on the marble mazes because this one probably will take the longest for anyone. This one also might require the most parent help, but I think it's a lot of fun. I think it opens up a lot of possibilities for like doing more with it. Like I was suggesting, I did this already once with my niece and nephew, and I suggested, you could draw on the bottom of the box first if you wanted to like decorate it. You could even get like really intricate and like poke some holes in it. Here, let me show you what we're making first. How about, okay, so we're going to make a maze. And as you can see, I'm going to be using, to make this one that I'm going to make now, I'm going to use like the top of a shoebox, but I only own one shoebox in my house right now. So I was trying to think of like what else you guys could use if you didn't have a shoebox. And I thought like everyone's doing board games and stuff. So I have an Apples to Apples box. Luckily with Apples to Apples, it sort of all comes out in a nice tray. So I just have it sitting there. The nice thing is that if you use tape, you can take it apart afterwards. Like if you want to, put your game back away. So here is my example maze that I made out of, like I said, an Apples to Apples box. This one's really basic. Just a nice small maze, but it's a lot of fun. I think you could start doing like, you could time yourself, who can get through the fastest, that type of thing. And so in the instructions, I pointed out like kind of the easiest way to do it is to use popsicle sticks, especially if you're lucky enough to have these like jumbo craft popsicle sticks like I do. These are awesome and seem to work the best. But as you saw with this one, I just cut out little, like about 6 inches by 1 inch pieces of cardboard from a cardboard box that I had laying around. I think you could also use cardstock or just like a thicker paper. And one of my coworkers suggested to use straws too. So that would be great. So if you have any like plastic straws laying around, that would probably be even easier to like sort of create the wall. Because as I'm going to show you in a second, it's kind of not hard, but it takes a little bit of practice to like tape these down. The original like instructions that I was looking at actually said to use a hot glue gun, but I know that like not everyone has a hot glue gun. Not everyone wants their kids using a hot glue gun. That's really understandable. And I only had a few of the little plastics left for my hot glue gun. So I wanted to prove and test and see if we could just use tape. And so it turns out we can. So here I've used popsicle sticks and 3 different kinds of tape to show you how the 3 different kinds of tape will work. So here I've got duct tape, and I cut those strips in half because obviously duct tape's a lot thicker than that. But so duct tape obviously I think would work the best if you have duct tape. This is packaging tape. So this one is also pretty sturdy. And then this is just normal Scotch tape. And as you can see, it's a little more flimsy, but it stays up and it gets the job done. Let's see if this will work. So this is meant to just be like a really basic ramp type Not even a maze really technically, but this was just mostly for me to show you about the different tapes working. So let's see. Oops, of course, because I'm trying to like hold it at an angle. There we go. Let's see. Yay! So see, it still works. And you wouldn't be playing with it at this angle anyways. But yeah, so any type of tape will work. Any type of barrier for your wall will work. I don't want you to be discouraged by not having the same supplies as me, because I think you can get creative with this and really just take it anywhere. So I showed you this example with the ping pong, and this one I made for the ping pong to go through as it gets stuck. But so I made this one with a ping pong ball in mind. But if you have a smaller ball, obviously you're probably going to want to make your path smaller. So I don't actually have a marble, which is kind of funny. I'm like, I want to do these marble mazes, and I don't have a marble. So what I'm using instead is a little blue bead here. And if this looks familiar, it might not look familiar to our kindergarten through third graders, but maybe if we have any older siblings watching, it might look familiar, because this little blue bead is from my Black Panther bracelet that I made at FanCon. What was that, 2 summers ago now? So unfortunately, I had to cut apart my bracelet, but I will assemble it again after this. And I just took the little blue bead out of there, and this will be my marble. I also think you could use a bouncy ball or even a golf ball, any ball that's small enough to fit in a box. So I have my popsicle sticks. I've sort of pre-cut some to be different lengths, because you're probably not going to you're not really going to be able to make a maze with only full-length popsicle sticks. You're going to need to cut them, or your strips, or whatever you're using for the wall. I'll angle it down now. Okay, so I've got my box. I forgot to mention, you should have an idea of what kind of maze you want to do before you start. I would suggest either drawing it out, or you can Google easy mazes and print one out, or just have it up on your computer to base off of. One thing to think about when you're designing your maze or picking your maze design that you want to use is what shape box you're using. So this is more of a rectangle shape, and then this one is obviously more of a square shape. So just keep that in mind when you're designing that you want to design for whatever shape lid you're using. Okay, so I did not print a design. Full disclosure, I am going off of one that I have already made. That was a little sneak preview, so that's the finished product. I'm just going to be redoing this maze that I made previously. And yeah, let's get started. So I know that I want to start in this upper corner here. I wrote start. So I kind of pick a corner to start at and go from there. So I'll start with putting down one big, right. So you can see, I'm going to start with putting down one big wall right here. So I'm going to use, oh no, where'd my tape go? There it is. Okay. I'm going to use just normal Scotch tape to prove to you that you can. And because it is kind of the most difficult to work with, so I want to be able to show you how I do it. So I start with getting a piece of tape that's about the same length as the popsicle stick, and then I tape it on one side with do you see that, how half of the tape is hanging off of the popsicle stick? See that? Maybe, hopefully. Yeah. So half of the tape is hanging there off of the popsicle stick. And then what I do is I lay it, I sort of, go in at it flat so that I can, let's see, there we go. So that I can lay it down and then where I want it to go. Like that's where I know I want it to go along that edge there. So then I will push the tape down so that pretty much it's just laying flat. But then what I do is I push the tape down all the way as close to the edge of the popsicle stick as you can. And then I sort of roll it over like that. And I grab another piece of tape about the length of the popsicle stick. So I fold it over and then I put the tape on the other end. Let's see. Oop. This is hard to show you. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, well, I'm going to have to get another piece of tape. That's okay. And we'll try a different angle. Let's try it like this. Yep, there we go. What a surprise, Miss Emily. Tape is sticky. Haha. Okay, there we go. Now I got it. Okay, so I'm basically pushing it down the opposite way that I just had it. And again, putting the tape so it's half on the popsicle stick, half hanging off. And then I push it down on that side and then just sort of push it up. And like you can kind of adjust, make it stand up better by pushing it down on either side of the stick there. So yeah, that's not my best one, but I'm again doing it at a strange angle so I can try and show you. I'm sure yours will turn out much, much better. But yeah, so that's my first wall. And so now I'm going to put a little one. I've cut sort of a tinier one here. I'm going to put that in the corner here. Over there. Yep. Yeah, so we'll use this tiny one to put it in the corner there. So I wonder if I can. Nope. All right. You can't see. Here we go. We're just moving stuff a little bit. Sorry. There we go. Okay. At least I can put it down now. There we go. And I'll work on it this way. Perfect. So I'm going to put it in this corner. Love it. Great. Okay. So this is needs a smaller piece of tape because it's a smaller popsicle stick. So again, half hanging on, half hanging off. And then I'm going to put it sort of laying down so you can see, like, I know I'm lining it up with this edge here because I know, sorry, that's my dog. I'm lining it up with this edge here because I know that I want it to be going along and meeting up with the corner there. So when can you see? Okay, there we go. So when I then push down the tape on this side, and then I'll put the tape on the other side and it will stand up like that. See? So we're gonna fold it over, take a smaller piece of tape, put it on the other side, and then push it to make it stand up. There we go. Great. Okay. So now so the marble would start up here. It's going to go down and we'll have to go this way. So we're going to need to put a little wall over here. Yeah, we'll see. You'll see. It'll come together. And so the nice thing the reason I actually like using the tape better than hot glue, I actually haven't made any using hot glue because I want the option to be able to take them apart again. And even when you're trying to get so you can see. So I'm about to put on this next wall. So again, lining up corner to corner. We're going to push it down on this side. Then we'll get another piece of tape to do on the other side. I was saying with the tape, it's way more flexible. Like I can, if I start doing like one design and I decide I don't like it, or I, test it with the marble and I find out that actually the marble doesn't fit through there, then you can take it off and like replan. So it's nice and flexible. And I encourage you to test as you go. I mean, obviously right now I don't have a whole lot to test. It's just, well, see, nice. Now I know that wall will hold up to the marble coming at it from this way. Fantastic. And so, yeah, that's why you want to keep testing as you go and redesigning, because maybe you get halfway through and you realize that you picked a pattern that won't actually work for your box. So it's totally okay if you're redesigning, if you're doing things over. Absolutely no worries. So then now I'm going to take one. So these ones I cut like about a third off of like the top of a big popsicle stick. This one's a half popsicle stick. So I'm going to put that guy here. He's going to go there to make sort of a little trap for the marble. So let's see. So again, I will take the tape. I will put it half on, half off the popsicle stick. Half on, half off. Hopefully you can see because I'm getting a lot of little fingerprints on my pieces of tape. And then line it up so that, you know, see, there's the corner. This is where I want the wall to go. So I'm going to push the tape down there. And then I'll flip them over. So you won't stay unless you flip it over and put the other piece of tape on the other side. And push that guy down. It should pretty much want to pop up right away. Fantastic. Great. So now we've got that. I'm going to make, let's see. I'm going to make sort of a little obstacle for it to go through. So like a trap. Yeah, I got a plan. Don't worry. So I'm going to take 2 half popsicles and sort of do it one here and one here. I'll just show you when I do it. How about? That's fantastic. Okay, good idea. So another reason that I wish I had been able to do this in Zoom or something is because then I wouldn't be talking to myself, but that's okay. I like this way better. I do. Okay, so now we're going to make a little trap for it by here. So then I'll do that one there, and then I'll do this guy, this other half over here. And, yeah, I'm excited. It'll look good. And yeah, I don't know, I might not finish this. I'm keeping an eye on the time, don't worry. Might not finish this in the hour that we have together because I know we're coming close. We got about 15 more minutes. But I think that once you get how to, oh, see, so I did a silly thing and I put this down without actually measuring where I wanted it. So it turns out I'm going to have to take this wall off and I should have started with this wall over here. So, oops. So you can see what a mistake looks like. Yay. So I made a mistake. I pulled it off. Very little of the box came off with it. So it won't ruin your boxes, I don't think. Oh no, I am almost out of tape. Oh boy. We can switch to the packaging tape if need be. That's so hard to get off of the roll sometimes. We'll figure it out. So now I'm putting down that wall that I tore up first. So now see what I'm doing. Now there's like a little trap for the ball. So I'm going to actually end up putting another little spoke there so that like it would hit it and then it would maybe fall in here, but really it's got to go over here. So, okay, let's just, oh, that's the last of the tape. Oh no. Oh, something I did not think about before starting this. Checking how much tape I had. Okay. That's okay. I made it work with that last piece of tape. Okay, so I have a little bit of like a trap for my marble. So if the marble was starting up here, it would sort of, maybe fall into this trap here. But what I want it to do is go this way so that then it can keep going into the rest of the maze, which obviously is not there yet. Shout out to my amazing sister-in-law who was designing her maze with her kids. Sorry, that's my dog. 1 second. Mac. Quiet. Okay. So, my sister-in-law was making a maze, and she did that, what I was telling you about, how she had picked a square maze, but was using a rectangle box. So instead, they just put a wall on one side, and Emmy, my niece, decided that was where we were going to store the rest of the marbles. So you can really get really creative with this. That's why I love this project so much. I feel like that it just opens up so many possibilities. Here, I will show you my final project, or my final product, rather, sorry. So this is what that one would look like if I was to finish it. So let's see if I can do it to show you. So we've got the start up. So start is up here and finish is down in this corner. Okay, you see? Okay. So now we will angle it as much as we can so that hopefully you can see me do the maze. See, in the trap. Okay. Oh no, another trap down there. It's stuck. Oh, okay. And get in there. Okay. Do you see it over here? Stuck again. And into the finish. Woohoo! So yeah, you can have marble races. You can so you can get it the fastest. One suggestion I liked was you could put stickers on the bottom in a bunch of the different spots, and then like the object of the game would be to get your marble to go over every single sticker before finishing. I think it just opens up a lot of possibilities, and I hope that you are able to think of a good solution if you don't have something that I do, or need to get a little creative, because I know that Arlington Heights is full of creative people. So I'm sure that you guys will come up with some fantastic stuff, and I'm really, really excited to see it. So again, if you have made any of these things, if you are sitting there playing with your kinetic sand and your face paint, please snap a picture. I'd love to see your beautiful face paint, what creations you make with the kinetic sand. I'd love to see your marble mazes, especially. If you couldn't tell, I really like the marble mazes, but I love all of these crafts. So please, if you have done any of them, take a picture, share it on social media, tag the library on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. We would love that. I think that I'm going to call it. Again, you can find links with the written out instructions. This video will be saved in the Wakelet where all of the written instructions are, and the supply list, and all of those extra links so that you can learn more about sand or face paint or mazes. That is all on the Wakelet. And then don't forget that you can sign up for Read 500 now. Our kindergarten through third graders can sign up for the Read 500. If I have any siblings watching that are younger than kindergarten, we have the 1,000 books before kindergarten program, also on Beanstack. And then if I have any siblings who are in 4th through 8th grade, we have 100 books before high school for you, which is also in Beanstack. So there is a reading program option for you if you are between the ages of 0 and 8th grade. So yeah, definitely do that. Sorry about my dog. He is watching the neighborhood, and a lot of people are going on walks right now. Beautiful weather, so I hope that you get out and enjoy that too. Enjoy your crafts. I hope that boredom is not a word today for you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.